Just pause for a moment. Put aside the headlines, the labels, the distractions. Ask yourself something real. Why are people all over the Western world, doctors, students, former pastors, athletes, and mothers, embracing Islam? Here's the thing. This isn't about following blindly. It's not about growing up in a certain culture. It's about people making a clear, thoughtful choice after exploring, questioning, and even resisting. So why are they doing it? Let's keep this real. No sugarcoating, no hype. Just honest insight. People are worn out by shallow living. By rituals that feel empty. By traditions that don't connect. By answers that don't really say anything. So when someone starts searching for deep meaning, they don't want cliches. They want something that reaches their soul. That's where Islam speaks deeply, especially in Western countries. A major reason why more people are turning to Islam isn't pressure or persuasion. It's because when they come across it, they feel something real. Something that's been missing. Honesty. Islam doesn't try to be trendy. It doesn't change its core based on what's popular. It offers a life path that's steady, grounded, and deeply personal. In a world where so many are pretending, especially online, that spiritual truth really strikes a chord. Look at prayer. In Islam, prayer isn't just a once-a-week event in a group. It happens 5 times every day. It's just you and God. No middleman, no choir, no hype. Just a steady act of worship and connection. You face the same direction. You say the same words passed down over 1400 years. Every movement has meaning, from raising your hands to bowing to placing your head on the ground. It's not about showing off. It's about being present. And many people who accept Islam say it's the first time they truly felt like they were speaking to God, not just talking about Him. And that's just one part. Take fasting during Ramadan. It's not about starving. It's about self-control, of the body, the mind, and the soul. For 30 days, Muslims around the world pause from routine. No food or drink or even certain words from sunrise to sunset. It reboots everything. It's not random. It's intentional. It's a way to realize how powerful you become when you lean on something higher than yourself. It puts faith in the front seat. This especially clicks with people in the West, where life moves fast, expectations are sky high, and spiritual life often feels far away or missing. People are tired. They've been told to find happiness in productivity hacks, online shopping, or self-help apps, but still feel lost. So when they come across a faith that says, your Creator knows you best, surrender to that and you'll finally feel peace. It feels like a deep breath of fresh air. Here's something else powerful. The structure of Islam isn't a cage, it's freedom. From the outside, it might look strict. Pray at these times. Eat this way. Dress modestly. But when people live it, they often say it's the opposite. It brings clarity. No more guessing what your values are every week. You live with direction. You move with focus. So when we say Islam is rising in the West, this is a big part of it. People aren't just finding faith. They're finding balance between what they believe and how they live. In a time where everything feels fake, that realness is not just refreshing, it changes lives. Let's face it, loneliness is everywhere in Western culture. People are always connected online, but still feel more alone than ever in real life. You can have hundreds of online friends and still feel unseen. That real community feeling, it's fading for many. And that's where Islam steps in with something people are craving, belonging. And it's not shallow social interaction. It's daily, meaningful support. When someone becomes Muslim, they're often shocked at how quickly they're welcomed. Not just a quick message, but real people helping. Giving rides to the mosque. Dropping off meals. Strangers acting like family. For some, it's the first time they've felt truly cared for, even more than from their own families. And it's consistent. It's not just for holidays. It's every Friday at the mosque. It's every night of Ramadan. It's every time you say, Salam, to another Muslim, even if you've never met before. Think about that. There's a built-in greeting. Peace be upon you. It connects people instantly. Doesn't matter what race, job, or background you have. You can walk into a mosque in Paris, Toronto, or LA, and people will treat you like a sibling in faith. That kind of unity, that's rare. And people who never had it before, they feel it instantly. The Muslim community is built around togetherness. Islam doesn't just suggest community, it makes it essential. Friday prayer is a weekly event where people come together. It's not just about prayer, it's about connection. Standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder, with people from every walk of life, facing the same direction, praying to the same God. No VIPs. Everyone equal. It reminds you physically and emotionally that you are part of one body. In Ramadan, this feeling gets stronger. Every night, people break their fast together. Mosques fill up. Strangers hand out food. Families invite others into their homes. And if someone's alone, someone else notices and invites them in. That's the culture. That's the norm. Imagine being someone who's always felt left out. Then suddenly, you're welcomed into a family of 2 billion people. And not just in words, in real actions. You're seen. You're appreciated. You matter. That changes everything. Beyond the rituals, Islam also teaches giving. Helping others is a daily part of life. Whether through donations, volunteering, or just being present for someone, Muslims are encouraged to serve. And when you do that, you're not just helping others. You're healing a part of yourself. You feel purpose. You feel connection. You feel less alone. Let's talk about mental and emotional health. Studies show that having strong community support reduces anxiety, depression, and even physical illness. Islam gives people that. Many converts say it's the first time they've had a support network that really sees them, not for their job or success, but for who they are. That's one of the biggest reasons people in the West are turning to Islam. Because in a divided world, Islam brings people together. In a culture that pushes individualism, Islam says, you're part of a bigger whole. And for many, that's not just powerful. It's life-changing. Another big factor. Religion has gotten confusing for many in the West. Belief systems feel unclear. Some religious teachings seem to change all the time. Contradictions. Edits. Questions with no answers. And when you're honestly looking for truth, that gets tiring. You begin to wonder, is there something out there that's clear? That doesn't change. That has one consistent message. That's where Islam enters with clarity. It's not just spiritual. It's straightforward. Islam teaches there is one God. No partners. No divine relatives. No middle figures. Just one creator, one message, one book. That simplicity is huge, especially for people coming from backgrounds where faith felt like solving a puzzle. In Islam, God is not part of his creation. He's not human. He doesn't have a body. He isn't born. He doesn't die. He's totally beyond human limitations. All-knowing, all-powerful, absolutely unique. That level of clear theology attracts deep thinkers. People who want a belief system that isn't just comforting, but makes sense. And what's incredible, the core message of Islam hasn't changed in 1,400 years. The Quran remains word for word as it was revealed. No updates. No rewrites to suit trends. That consistency is rare today. And the Quran doesn't say, just believe. It tells readers to think, reflect, ask questions. That's the tone, not blind following, but thoughtful understanding. It gives room for critical thinking, which appeals to many Western minds. That's why a lot of converts say, I wasn't looking for religion. I was looking for truth. They didn't convert because of emotion or pressure. They read, they studied, they asked, and they found that Islam holds up. Spiritually, logically, morally, even scientifically, and in everyday life, Islam gives more than beliefs. It gives a roadmap. How to treat your parents. How to earn money honestly. How to care for your heart. How to live with kindness and fairness. It covers real life, not to control you, but to guide you toward peace. No confusion. No guesswork. Just clear guidance. So when people accept Islam, they often say it's like something inside clicked. Not because someone forced them, but because finally, something made sense. Something that didn't change with fashion or politics. Just truth, solid and timeless. That's why Islam isn't just surviving in the West. It's growing. Because in a loud, chaotic world, it offers calm, clear truth. Let's get honest. People in the West are overwhelmed. More tech, more choices, more freedom, but also more stress, more anxiety, more burnout. The promises of happiness through stuff and status aren't working. People feel it deep down. That's the quiet crisis, the gap between having everything and feeling nothing. The culture promotes individualism. Do your own thing. Create your truth. But when you're the only one defining meaning, it gets heavy. It gets lonely. And watching perfect lives online makes it worse. The pressure to always be better is endless. People are asking, what's the point of all this? That's where Islam comes in. Not as a trend, but as a real option. Islam doesn't ask you to chase the next big thing. It tells you to stop. Reflect. Return to your Creator. It offers purpose. Not a fantasy life. Not fake joy. But a deep reason to live, to grow, to struggle with meaning. Islam shows up when everything else stops making sense. And many in the West are starting to see that. They're not just looking for a faith. They're looking for peace, direction, structure, and finding it in Islam. So yes, Islam is spreading. Quietly, strongly. Not because it's flashy, but because it works. People see Muslims praying daily, dressing modestly, living with ethics, even when it's hard. That kind of steady purpose makes people stop and ask, what do they have that I don't? And when they look closer, they realize, maybe, just maybe, Islam could work for them too. Because it's not about hype. It's about truth. And truth always finds its way.